And then whenever I get in a really tight game against some physicality, against some of the brothers that's strong, quick, fast, and willing to D me up, especially in a marquee game matchup like when he got blown out by the Thunder, or like he just got blown out by the Rockets, or just blown out by Cade Cunningham in Detroit. When you get defenders like that on him, he's up to 6-7 turnovers and the sucker salute, looking for the foul and all that stuff. And then when they get in the playoffs, it gets even worse. It gets even worse. It's just he just getting demolished out there. BBC's all over him, just making him turn the ball over. He on the casting couch. He getting tossed up like a salad. It's that bad. They picking on this dude. That's how bad his defense is, and this is your superstar. That's like you get knocked out in the front yard in front of all your kids and your wife. You go back in there, it ain't nothing you can't even get your son to take the trash out. Why don't you tell Terry to take the trash out? You wasn't talking tough like that when Terry knocked you out. Your kids might not say that, but your wife sure is gonna say that. Don't try to talk tough to me. You ain't talk tough to Terry when he knocks you out. Right? That's how it is when the players that's supposed to be role players for Luka see him getting destroyed. Like, he's bringing the ball up and getting it took. Sucker salute. And then he's looking at his role players, and his role players like, I can't believe this is our superstar, dog. They looking at Ant Edwards and SGA. They D'ing up and handling the physicality, and they looking at all these other dudes and was like, dang, man, this is our superstar? This is the one we stuck with, and this is the one we got to listen to. That's the one that got $350 million. That's the face of the franchise. That's the top 5 player. Like, this is the one we stuck with. Come on, dog. What you got to understand is when you pick a leader for the face of your franchise, and this is what the Dallas Mavericks found out after 4, 5, 6 years with Luka, and this is why Nico Harris and their ownership, decided we're not going to pay him almost $350 million to be fat, out of shape, party, smoke, drink alcohol, and get worse by the year. Right? We're not going to pay him $350 for that, because we're picking a leader, then we're paying him, which means that after we pay him, we don't have no more leverage to make him do what we want him to do. Like, once you pay him, there's no more leverage. He was already not respecting the coaches. He didn't even respect Rick Carlisle, who had won a championship with Dallas. I'm already established and a made man in Dallas before we even drafted you. I coached Dirk. I got him his only championship. I got Dallas their only championship. I'm established, right? That's who I am. I'm Rick Carlisle. For Rick Carlisle not to have the say-so over Luka like he should is insanity. So if Rick Carlisle ran away from Luka, and he's a Hall of Fame coach who's a made man in Dallas, who won a championship with Dallas, if he can't tell him nothing, it's going to be very hard for J. Kidd. I mean, come on now. I mean, J. Kidd is a Hall of Fame player, but he ain't no Hall of Fame coach yet. You get what I'm saying? So when you pick a leader and you say this is the face of the franchise and the leader of our team on the floor, and he comes in overweight, out of shape, unconditioned, and then don't play defense, and then cries and whines for every single foul. I call it the simp salute, or the sucker salute. After every play, he don't get a foul. His hands is like this. It ain't a military. Let me show y'all the sucker salute. Jokic sucker salute is like this. Me? You called it on me? The sucker salute, the simp salute. Luka's is a little bit further out, like he's asking Allah to provide. Like his hands is a little bit like this. That's the sucker salute. Jokic like this. LeBron's is similar, right? LeBron's is similar. But that sucker salute, like you see the sucker salute. I want y'all every time y'all watch the game, play a drinking game. I want you to get you some tequila and a shot glass. And every time you see Luka do the sucker salute, I want you to take a shot. Every time you see Jokic do the sucker salute, take a shot. Right? Not only is he doing the sucker salute, he's not even getting back on defense while he's doing it. Right? So if I'm going to pay that guy $350 million, make him the face of the franchise, and then make him the leader of the team, I got to expect it to roll downhill. You can't ask people under Luka to do what you can't even get Luka to do, what Luka's not willing to do. That's the difference between Michael Jordan. He always said, I'm not going to ask nobody on my team to do what I'm not willing to do or already have done. I'm going to run through that wall before y'all can even think about running through it. Because when I run through it, I'm going to expect you to do it when you get the opportunity to run through it. But Luka is not like that. So the identity of your superstar player, the face of your franchise, the best player, the team leader, his identity ends up being what your team identity is. So when people always say SGA is not the MVP because he has this elite team, I'm like, these dudes was not elite before they got to OKC. No one looked at them and was like, oh, they're elite. Nobody looked at them like that. Right. So you don't just have this elite squad. How did they get elite? Because the personality of their team leader, who is SGA, is contagious, and it rolls downhill. It trickles down to the rest of the troops. That's the best type of guy for a coach to coach, because he's going to run through that wall as well, and he's going to lead them through as well. Follow me. Right? So when getting back to the Lakers, first mistake is hiring JJ Redick. Even though people say that the Lakers won that trade because Luka averages 32 points a game, I think, honestly, you could say, I wouldn't say the second mistake was trading for Luka, because you're getting rid of an older superstar who's on his way down. He's declining, and he's often injured. For a younger superstar that you feel like, whatever the problems he had in Dallas, I think we can change that, and we won't have that problem here. Right? But you see that defense and that sucker salute is rearing its ugly head, right? But you get him over here. That's not the second mistake. I think the second mistake was actually the second mistake is actually drafting Bronny. We'll get to that. So the second mistake is actually drafting Bronny. And then the third mistake is trading for Luka and keeping LeBron James on the roster. And I know it seems sexy to pair LeBron to Luka, as 1-2 punches. But when you get Luka, you really just got to start all over. You got time. He's not even 28 yet. So it's real nice to say I got Bron and Luka together. Let's see how many runs we can make at it. But you really, like, for Luka, you got to have a specific team around him. Right? You almost got to have you got to have a specific team around him. You got vets like Marcus Smart out there and Vanderbilt seeing that, look, man, we can play the best defense possible as long as there's a hole in our defense named Luka Doncic. There's nothing we can do, especially when there's 2 holes in our defense named Luka and LeBron, or 3 holes in our defense named Luka, LeBron, and Reeves. So you're telling the captain of the ship, I want you to go sail the 7 seas from point A to point B to point C, back to point A. I want you to do that. I'm going to put 3 holes in your boat, but I'm going to give you 2 really good, seamen, right? You know what I mean? They know what they're doing on the boats, man. They can patch holes and all that. It's 3 huge holes in the deck. We already taken on water before we even leave. That's what the Lakers defense is. They have 3 huge holes in their defense named Luka, LeBron, and Reeves. And JJ Redick can't get neither one of them to play defense. Number one, because LeBron is old as hell, hasn't played defense in 8 years. and refuses. Like, I turn it on when it's time to turn it on, but I'm not turning on. LeBron's not turning his defense on for no reason. There's got to be a reason. Like, if they just happen to be a playoff contender or a contender, let's say they had a really good squad, then LeBron would be like, oh yeah, this is a good reason for me at 41 to play defense. But when he look around and say, oh no, we're not going, like, LeBron's been around long enough to look around and be like, no, we're not going nowhere. That's why Rich Paul went on the podcast with Matt Kellerman and said the Lakers are not contenders, because that's LeBron speaking. Right. So LeBron can look around and say, nah, we ain't going nowhere. Why am I going to waste all it? First of all, Luka's not going to play no defense. I know we're cooked. We're cooked. I mean, we're cooked. So he's not going to play defense. And there's nothing JJ Redick can do to force him to, because he has the job because of LeBron. Ain't nothing he can say to him. Then Luka is the same. You're not going to force him to play defense because he don't want to. And I'm starting to think he can't, even if he did want to. It's very discouraging for Luka, because even if he want to sit down in that chair and play some defense, he's getting blown by at tremendous rates. I'm talking about one dribble blow-bys. Like, you can't even move your feet enough to make him take more than one dribble. Like, he get the ball at the 3-point line and it's just a jab this way, and then he's gone one dribble all the way to the Baja. Like, he can't even turn someone and make them go the other way. Like, it's really bad. It's really bad. And I think he gets discouraged because he was like, look, it's nothing I can do. I can't stick with these dudes. I'm a 6'8", 7,000 pound small forward that wants to play point guard, but I can't guard point guards. And then whenever I get in a really tight game against some physicality, against some of the brothers that's strong, quick, fast, and willing to D me up, especially in a marquee game matchup, like when he got blown out by the Thunder, or like he just got blown out by the Rockets, or just blown out by Cade Cunningham in Detroit. When you get defenders like that on him, he's up to 6-7 turnovers and the sucker salute, looking for the foul and all that stuff. And then when they get in the playoffs, it gets even worse. It gets even worse. It's just he just getting demolished out there. BBC's all over him, just making him turn the ball over. He on the casting couch. He getting tossed up like a salad. It's that bad. They picking on this dude. That's how bad his defense is, and this is your superstar. That's like you get knocked out in the front yard in front of all your kids and your wife. You go back in there, it ain't nothing you can't even get your son to take the trash out. Won't you tell Terry to take the trash out? You wasn't talking tough like that when Terry knocked you out. Your kids might not say that, but your wife sure is gonna say that. Don't try to talk tough to me. You ain't talk tough to Terry when he knocks you out. Right? That's how it is when the players that's supposed to be role players for Luka see him getting destroyed. Like, he's bringing the ball up and getting it took. Sucker salute. And then he's looking at his role players, and his role players like, I can't believe this is our superstar, dog. They looking at Ant Edwards and SGA. They D'ing up and handling the physicality, and they looking at all these other dudes and was like, dang, man, this is our superstar. This is the one we stuck with, and this is the one we got to listen to. That's the one that got $350 million. That's the face of the franchise. That's the top 5 player. Like, this is the one we stuck with. Come on, dog. Right? So that's what's going on. They can't get him to play defense. I think I got sound bites. Let's get to JJ Redick after the Luka trade. After they got blown out by Detroit. This is sad. Like, this is sad. Listen to this interview, though.
Midway through the third, what do you think happened as Detroit was able to pull away? The offensive stretch that we had there in the third, start of the fourth. Okay, I'll rewatch it tonight, but we had like 5 turnovers in that stretch.
5 turnovers in a stretch where they had the game tied and they lost it for 5 turnovers. I just want to let y'all know Luka leads the league in turnovers. Right. First of all, he's missed 7 games. I know he leads the league in turnovers per game, which is like almost 6. Your point guard averages almost 6 turnovers a game. He only getting 9 assists. He's like that's almost every assist you get, you turn the ball over. Almost. He's averaging about 6 turnovers a game. I will have to Google it. Somebody Google it real quick to see if he, like, after missing 7 games, do he still lead the league in total turnovers? I'm interested to know if he leads in total turnovers this season, but he definitely leads it per game. Just Simply Sports said Luka is 6'8", almost 230. He can play defense if he wanted to. Luka is very talented on offense, so he doesn't feel he should have to play defense. Playing defense is a choice. I would never accept a leader who feels like they don't have to play defense or it's optional. I would never, and that's why Dallas was like, no, we out of the Luka business. We're out of the Luka business. You can't expect that from baby fat ass, Kamora Lee ass. We call it baby fat to do something after 20 years of never having to. Too late to learn now. I wouldn't say 20 years he didn't play defense. I think he played defense his first Cleveland stint, and Pat Riley wouldn't allow him not to play defense in Miami. So I think he played defense in Miami. He stopped playing defense his second stint in Cleveland.
Again, the turnovers, the fast break points in the paint that just killed us tonight.
He said the turnovers, fast break points, and points in the paint killed us tonight. Luka leads the league in turnovers. He never gets back on the fast break on defense if he feel like he had a foul because he's too busy arguing with the refs with that sucker salute. So Luka, and then points in the paint. He's the one getting blowed by on the perimeter. He can't stop and keep his man in front of him on the perimeter, and they're going straight to the Baja for layups. So Luka is the lead charge in all of those scenarios. Turnovers, fast break points, points in the paint. This is your leader. This is the guy you're trying to build your team around. All I see is sucker salute and him taking step back threes all day long.
With the turnovers, it's probably hard to generalize it, but how much of their sort of athleticism and length and force, how many of those do you feel like were forced versus just kind of gave the ball?
They're a really good physical basketball team. It's part of their DNA.
So remember when I told you shit rolls downhill, it's a trickle down effect. The identity of your team comes from your head coach and your best player. And sometimes your point guard. And Luka is both the point guard and the best player. The identity is contagious, whether it's positive or negative. Notice any team whose best player is a bad defender, the team, no matter how many defensive guys you put around him, the team suffers at defense. Denver Nuggets got to play zone defense, dog. Like Jokic is so bad at defense, they got to play zone, which is interesting enough because I didn't see them play no zone this first game they just played without Jokic. They had Valanciunas out there who looks slower than Jokic, and I don't remember them playing no zone. All right, so yes, Luka is the best player on the Lakers. Yes, he's the best player on the Lakers, right? I think I seen somebody said, he said, don't blame Luka. Are you serious? Why not blame Luka? Why not blame your best player? Especially when it's obvious what his issue is. I can't wait to open these phone lines up. Thanks. He said Luka is 8th in turnovers. after missing 7 games. Lamont said, why did Dallas let Luka go so true? Because they was happy to see him go. Happy to see him go. Right? Happy to see him go. Sometimes you just cut your losses and take the L. Right? Sometimes you cut your losses and take the L. If you're a business partner with somebody and they're making you bleed money, right? And then you be like, look, wait, we gotta cut our losses, dog, and end this partnership. And then you look at it and be like, man, I'm $20,000 in the negative on this business partnership. I'm not going to take you to court and make you pay half of it. I eat the whole $20K. I just want to break up right now. Sometimes it be like that.